Hi, all. My name is Raja. I'm the founder of deep tech startup Text AI. And today I'm going to talk about how to understand AI. You all hear this is an AI, that is an AI, and people are talking about some kind of a jargon called artificial general intelligence, and how to understand all these things, what exactly it is. And I'm not going to talk about specific or technical terms. I'm going to talk about in a more general terms how to understand even for anybody, even the non-technical or the nerds, non-nerds. I would start with this Harry Potter thing. You all, if you're a Harry Potter fan, and I will start with that. There is a word in there there is no self-spelling van. This phrase comes when the character Arthur Weasley saying about they are nowhere near than creating a self-spelling van than to catch the Sirius Black. This self-spelling van thing just occurs once, but there are times they also bring this thing. There is something like a self-stirring cauldron, and also there are a lot of other things were there too. So I want to highlight this idea that this kind of imagination, this artificial general intelligence where the computer can do the thinking, that imagination runs across generations, even across find in a science fiction too. Of course, you would argue that this could be the author, J.K. Rowling, writing it. It is not somebody is actually happened and so on. I understand. I get same thing with the Star Wars or any kind of the Star Wars derives, statistical derives, and so on. But we had this kind of actual magic moment somewhere around 2 decades ago. That was Google search. The web search was bad until Google fixed it, and the web search was so great. If you're an adult in 15 or 20 years ago, that is, if you are in late 30s and early 40s, you would have read about books, articles, videos, or talks about how great Google was, how great Google search is, how it is magic. If you just type something, it brings out the results. That results actually matches what you're expecting, so on and so forth. There were several books are written. You can still find those in your library or in your bookstores. This is a magic because computer, like if you go to the internet, open up your browser, go to the Google, and type something in a search query, and it immediately brings the results, which actually what you are looking for. But we know that that's not a magic, it's just computer code or algorithm, what you call. But the algorithm was so effective, or the illusion of so effective, and we thought that people thought that it was so magical, it even thinks it, and so on. But what is behind that algorithm? We all know that behind the algorithm is the page rank, something called this ranking of the websites. And how do they rank those websites? How do they figure out that which one is relevant, which one is not relevant? Simply by looking at how many reference points or how many referrals one website has another. Say, for example, if you had a website and your website is linked to other websites, your website will link higher than the others. It's a very simple thing, but isn't it the basic thing, the structure was existed? And the humans reviewed those websites. Humans are manually creating those links, manually creating the data, manually creating all these things. And by trusting each other or verifying each other, and those things were created, the connections or the referrals were created. It is in a technical jargon called backlinks and all. And then it is used by the algorithm to make it work. And then particular structure worked very well, very well. So can we call this as a first training data, human created data, or the structure, first structure existed in the system or existing already, and that was used by the algorithms. But you can also, argue that, this particular piece of information, very simple thing, but effective in a very large scale. Of course, you can argue that the Google fixed other things, but that will come back to it later. But just look back and see this particular magic completely fails when it comes to what we still today call enterprise search or a private document search. So there's a private data. So if you have a written notes, if you have a documents, if you have emails, this simply fails because there is no connections, there is no nothing that can drag it. Then people need to understand that, the simple links that can make that algorithm looks like magic or results look like magic given the algorithm at scale. Can you think back and see that this is the current genAI or the large language models, the generative AI and those chats? Is it happening with those things today too? That's simply using that next word prediction, and then the actual data is generated by human beings, something like the algorithms like the page rank algorithm, this algorithm or this data, or a couple of algorithms or some of the algorithms uses that the data generated by human beings. And this data is actually human verified. So this data like the books, articles, social media posts, all these things are actually written and verified by the human beings, which is crawled by the AI and then creates these results, even including the computer code, poetry, songs, lyrics, even the images, videos, so on and so forth. Entire data is generated, and we can see the parallels between the Google search, LLMs, and genAI. Then the other part is that, of course, Google was the first one to create this automatic crawling. Google also then started to update or evaluate the things by adding other metadata, such as when the website is registered, where it is registered, how long it is used, so on and so forth. They have a lot of things. And there is an entire industry called search engine optimization came into being, optimizing your website in order to rank highly in the Google search. So there is a whole ecosystem came into being, right? So the whole thing was there, and including the Google, that it can, do the provider and the ecosystem developed, and the other companies started doing it. So can we say the same thing with the LLMs or the genAI, the generative AI, that the data was there, and at the scale, it looks like magic, but we may be reproducing what it is out there, may not be do such of a thinking. And it also generates fake things because it doesn't understand what is bad or good. Same as you can go and do your website to optimize for a search engine, and the results will be higher. And it should show your website in the first or second page or the third page instead of showing it in a 10th or 11th page. The same thing, you can have the hallucinations occurring automatically, and then you can see that it is not useful, because if you can make this thing work, and if you are getting fake websites, fake citations, and so on, it is not useful. You have to go and check the thing, and the whole purpose of AI itself being removed. Then come back to the point that there is this new features are produced in the AI that these people are calling as a thinking AI. And then this thinking AI is on a pro subscription or something. It is costlier and it is limited, but it gives you correct answers or removes those websites which are not there, which are fake websites which are not there. So is it actually the hallucinations are removed? Something like the Google fights back with the search engine optimization and other stuff. Is it hallucinations are removed, or actually they are putting some checks or putting some Python scripts or some kind of verification or filtering that actually they are taking this thing automatically in an automated programmatic manner, check the links and the data in the web, and then provide, or in the internet, check whether those links exist or actual and real, and then provided or removing those links or doing cleanup automatically after the AI generated the results, and then giving it to the customers. That may be the reason it is too slow and costly. So the AI is the same. There is no different AI, but the incorrect information provided by the AI undergoes a filter. So that's filters like your coffee filter that filters the information which are not good and it gives you only the correct information. That takes time and it is also costly. So coming back to the point is that we need to look back and see that as there is no intelligence built into the Google search, there may not be an intelligence built into the AI. It will try to find the patterns or the grammatical structures or the thinking already there in the data, which is generated by humans for the past 50, 100 years in books, text, web, and so on. And then provides that information, or it may be rearranges it, or it may be goes through some kind of arrangement and then shows you the results. And that's also the reason why it comes with the hallucinations or gives you fake information, fake citations, fake things that went into some of the embarrassing moments in a lot of places. There was a case where a lawyer submitted that automatically without verifying it to the courts, and he has to go and answer it, so on and so forth. So is there any thinking or any kind of a thing or a reasoning abilities exist, or these are some kind of a scaffolding to fight back the AI or tame the AI, something like it automatically produces all the hallucinations, just they're trying to filter it and gives you the correct results. And then you can argue that isn't that okay, isn't that good that at least something is provided, something is like, isn't that AI makes new things, or is that the AI does something, is it gives the answers, it produces some of the things. Then if you're trying to use it like in your personal things or in your professional way, you need to understand that what are the limits of the AI, where you can use it, how you can use it, how long you can use it, what are the risks that comes associated with it, and so on, rather than trying to blindly trust the AI. Because in Google, in the Google search or any other web search provided by the providers, you actually go to the website and read it, and you can also make a judgment on that, how it is there, whether it is exists or not. But in this case, you want to see the references, you want to understand it and how it is works. So that's the particular point you need to think about, that if the seemingly next word prediction doesn't do anything much more than a thinking, what all I'm missing, and how do we evaluate for a business? Maybe personal things you just wanted to do something with your own daily lifetime, and then or do you want to search it, and if you're not satisfied, you can go to the next one. But how to use it for a business? And that thing I will talk about in the next video. But in this video, what I wanted to explain is that very simple things done at a large scale, exploiting what is the structure inside the data, can give you the illusion of thinking or the illusion of magic, which where there is none. So we still don't know how people think. We still don't know how humans think or any animals think, or how they, how the response time and all is there. But what we can make it that how best we can use this technology to better our lives, better the things for the future generations. Thanks for watching.